Well, how about it, y'all? This is Daniel Nicholson with Nicholson Farms, and welcome back to another video. In our last video, you saw where we put our water lines in our pastures, and a video that you haven't seen yet is we took our butcher steer sirloin to the processor. I was gonna wait till we get all the meat back so I can just wrap all that into one video. But we're going to get some more animals today. Wasn't planning on getting them this soon. I talked to a guy a couple months ago about getting some steers from him, and I was hoping it's gonna be end of February, 1st of March, but he got them all called up this afternoon. He's gonna go ahead and take what he has to the sale. We went ahead and picked out two, so we're about to hit the road. We got about a 10-minute ride. We're gonna go pick up two new steers for the farm this afternoon.
Hey, come on.
Hey, man. Congratulations. I hadn't seen you in person.
Thank you.
Let's get up. Get up.
Rivers, hush.
Don't get me that stick, boy.
All right, flat that over. Flat that
You get me with that stick. Get up in there. Come on.
Come on out, welcome home. So we got the steers unloaded. It's actually been about 30 minutes since we unloaded them. I wanted to give them some time to just kind of adjust, walk the fence lines, figure out where they're at. I'm looking up there now. They've got their heads down grazing. So they should be all right. They're pretty calm-mannered cattle from what I can tell. But we're gonna be hooking up this hay spear real quick. We're gonna be taking them a bale of hay. We're gonna get them some water set up here in a little while. We're gonna feed them some grain. To get them started, we've got some grain left over from our last butcher calf sirloin. I need to order another ton of feed this week. We were not prepared to pick up steers today. I got the phone call this morning and it kind of struck me off guard, but we went ahead and got them anyways. I think it's gonna work out good for them. I'll show you them a little bit better here in just a second. I'm really happy with them. They're a little bit smaller than what we're looking for, but they're nice, straight backs, thick. I think they're gonna work out really well for us. is hard to operate on camera. Got her though. Must be nap time. Sounds like the perfect plan on a Sunday afternoon. They're not too sure about Mr. Rivers over here with it. Calves are up on top of the hill eating their hay now. They finally found it. I've got 16 pounds of 16% beef. It's a pellet. Typically what we buy in the bulk sacks is a blend. It's got a little more stuff in it for us, cracked corn and stuff. But this is what we got on hand right now. We're gonna go ahead and feed it to them. This is what their diet's gonna consist of pretty much the whole time we have them. We're gonna be supplementing them with a little bit of grain. Whenever we get into some growing seasons where our grass is actually growing, we might try to do some more grass-fed stuff. But right now we just don't have the grass for it. They've got hay. We're gonna be supplementing them with about 2% of their body weight. The steers that we've just picked up, they're probably right around the 400-pound mark. So 16 pounds of feed's gonna do it for them. So they'll find that. Honestly, if they keep munching on the hay and they like that, just let them go. At least they're calm, relaxed, and kind of settled in already. We're gonna go up here to our new water spigots and give them some water real quick. So in our last video, you saw us install some water lines, and this is the first time I've used them. Actually, I take that back. I filled up the pig's water a little bit yesterday. But we still need to come through here. And basically what we're gonna do is put a little bit of a pad here. We're gonna put some cloth down, put some gravel on top, and we're gonna have a trough that goes through the center of the fence. We need to put some posts in to secure the wire, make sure our wire stays tight. But we still have to purchase the water troughs and the gravel and all that stuff. So right now I'm just gonna put this half of a 55-gallon drum in here, see if I can get through this fence without getting shocked. We need to move this wire still. But I've just got a little short piece of hose we'll put on this spigot, so at least we have some water access for today. Man, it's nice to have water out in the pasture finally. So I walked up to the bale of hay to try to get a little bit of footage of the steers, and they walked off. They're kind of making their way back up there now. And I've tried to start this little section of the video about 2 or 3 times, but there's apparently a lot of traffic on our road on a Sunday afternoon, and I'm up here by the highway. So if you hear any cars, I'm sorry about it. But I figured I'd talk to you for a second about these 2 steers, what they mean to us. But these 2 steers are about 400 pounds. They got technically weaned this morning. The owner of them called all his mama cows and his calves up this morning to feed them. and all of the calves came in, so he decided to shut the gate, sort off the calves, and take to the sale. And he called me up. We've already discussed a couple months ago that I wanted to get some steers from him. So he called me up. I went up there this morning. We picked out 2 of them, and then we went back this afternoon and put them on the trailer and brought them home. But we are super excited to have 2 steers on the farm. This is the first year that we've ever had 2 steers. For the past 2 years, we've just raised 1. In 2021, we had our butcher steer Brisket, and he is what we are still currently eating on in the freezer. We still have about 20 pounds left from that steer. Just hamburgers. The steaks are gone about 4 months ago. But this past Friday, today's Sunday, this past Friday, we took our steer sirloin to the processor, and we're looking forward to having some steaks back from him very soon, hopefully in about 2 weeks. But 1 steer seems to be what we need for our family, for us, me and Maddie, my parents, and my brother. But this year we wanted to expand a little bit, and it was one of our goals in 2023 to raise 2 steers. We have a friend that already has committed to buying a half of a cow, if not a whole one, and if he doesn't get the whole one, we'll find somebody else to purchase the other half. Well, we will be setting up the processor date. We'll be raising this calf out, taking him to the processor, and he's able to pick up the processed meat from the processor. We'll get our cut, he'll pay us, and he'll pay the processor. So something that we're going to be able to make a little bit more of a profit off of is what I want to get to with the pigs. But I take a lot of pride in raising our own meat, and it's something I want to do for years to come. We've been doing the cows. This will be our 3rd round of cows. We've been doing pigs for, I don't know, 5-6 years or so. But I just take pride in the whole process of raising animals, whether it be from birth, raising the animal, from the time that we actually process the animal, whether we take it somewhere to get processed or like our pigs, we process ourselves. Being able to go in the freezer, pick out a pack of meat, and know that we raised it. We know what kind of life that animal had. The animal only had 1 bad day in its life, and that was his last day, if it ever remembered it at all. We try to do everything as humanely as possible. We try to give these animals the best life that they can potentially have under our care. We don't stress them out too much. Make sure they have plenty of food and they're just growing. That's what we strive to do. But for me, it's just a very gratifying feeling to raise our own animals. I take a lot of pride in it. I just remember 2 years ago, whenever we got our first steer, the day that we got it, the feeling that I had, to the day that we took it to the processor, and then I went back and got boxes full of meat to put in the freezer, and knew that we grew that animal. We knew what kind of life he had. Whenever I got started in the pigs, it was kind of the same thing, and honestly, the pigs is probably what got me fired up about growing my own food and just being self-sufficient as possible. But probably 7 or 8, maybe 10 years ago is whenever I got my first pig. I got invited by a friend to come help butcher. Their family does a big butchering every year. I got invited. I went, watched the whole process, helped out as much as I could, and I just kind of wanted to do it myself. I didn't grow up around butchering animals. I've always been around animals, always been around agriculture, but we didn't do the butcherings or anything like that. We didn't grow our own meat whenever I was growing up. So it's something I really wanted to do. So I came home from that butcher and I taught my dad into, let's get a pig next year. So we bought 1 pig. We grew it out to about 300 pounds. We processed it, made our own sausage, made our own pork chops, and all that good stuff. And that feeling of knowing that I raised that animal and I'm, I guess, providing to family, it's just something that I chase after every year. That's something I want to continue to do. Whenever I'm raising my daughter, I want her to be able to see the whole process of raising animals, what it takes to actually put food on the table, whether it be a vegetable or meat. There's a process about it that you've got to be responsible, you got to be caring, you got to commit to doing it, and then at the end of the day, you can take the pride from it. You know that you did it yourself. You wasn't depending on anybody else. So just a little extra spiel, I guess, but we're super excited to have these guys behind us. Their names are going to be T and B is what we're going to call them, but it stands for T and bone. So we always kind of name our calves off of a steak or some cut of meat. So this is going to be T&B. Super excited to have them. I really appreciate you hanging out with us. I know the video is probably a little bit short. We really wasn't planning on doing all this afternoon, but we're super excited we went ahead and got them on the farm. Like I said, we really appreciate you hanging out with us. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, leave us a comment, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Isn't that right, Rivers?